interesting about you, Mike, is that you are doing something that I really don't know anyone else who is doing, which is adventure coaching.
Hmm.
Can you share a little bit about what that looks like and how was that something someone had done with you, or did you just kind of create that for people?
When I was a senior in high school, I did an outward bound course as a normal population, meaning, I just went to do it in the boundary waters of Minnesota during the winter. So it was dog sledding, cross country skiing. And that opened my eyes to Kurt Hahn's philosophy of getting people away from their day-to-day operation, day-to-day lives, and showing them that they are what is possible, that they can actually do far more than their self-imposed thought process of, well, I can't dog sled because I've never done that before. Well, we'll teach you. And not only are you going to dog sled, but you're going to do it until exhaustion. And then guess what? You're going to
Wow.
continue to do it past exhaustion. And that just opened up my world and opened up who I am as a young man at the time because I was a senior in high school. So then I started on that path of experiential education. And then throughout that, I used the outward bound model, working for them in different parts of the world, whether it be Costa Rica, Ecuador, or Austria, Scotland, Germany, Finland, or Bulgaria. Wherever I was, I used that platform in order to support people's growth. And then fast forward towards where I found myself in Alaska. I became a big game hunting guide for Alaska big game, that is. And I was supporting people in their journey towards that moment of their lives, what they've been dreaming of, whether it be for a moose, say. I've been supporting them. So I basically went from the good side of leave no trace to big game hunting, where you leave a gut pile, right? So I went to the dark side. Anyway, so then I took that, and then I started metamorphosizing into my true self of utilizing the outdoors and my knowledge, my comfort, my ability to keep people safe in the outdoors towards my coaching. So it was a natural progression, and I'm grateful to say I've had I can't even count how many adventure clients I've had. Well, this year I've had two so far back to back, and they left wildly thankful. And we did some fishing, we did some backcountry experiences, etc. So adventure coaching is where I take people out of their normal day-to-day operations or their lives, get away from all the distractions, whether it be a telephone or an email or family responsibilities or relationship responsibilities, both professional and personal, and allow them a space where they get real uncomfortable, mainly because they don't have a distraction called a phone or an email or responsibilities. And now they're just an opportunity to be with themselves in a beautiful, huge landscape that could be terrifying because there's a bear behind every bush, or mosquitoes are going to pick me up and take me away, or it's going to rain. What am I going to eat next? I've never been this high off the top of a mountain before, or it's so windy, those kinds of things. So that's what I do. Or they just enjoy fly fishing, or they spinner fishing, or sea kayaking. So that's what adventure coaching is. But adventure coaching is taking people out
Uh,
into the outdoors where they experience themselves in the majestic Alaska landscape, or I do it in different parts of the world as well, whether it be Scotland for castles and scotch, or Nicaragua for cigars and rum, or Ecuador for Cotopaxi and just the culture. That's what I do. The intention of the book, when I was being coached by my book writing coach, he said, you must keep the intention in front of you at all times for the ups and through the downs. And because if you don't, you will get lost and you'll never complete it. So my intention, truthfully, is just
yeah.
I wanted to make my mother proud, my wife, and my two boys proud. I wanted them to be able to
Mhm.
read it and then say, wow, now I understand why dad says, well, we're going outside to work, so where it gets it from. They might not understand it now because they're 6 and 9, but so the intention of the book was just to make my
Yeah.
mom and dad, my mom proud, my boys proud, my wife proud. In my coaching world, my practices, I wanted to show people the value of coaching, the value of discovering your leadership or life truth that allows you to make a good decision, have good outcomes. And that congruency is the good information you need of what is truth. So that's why I wrote it. And why is it different? Much like you just said around the book, it's like I felt like I was really there, and most people can relate to it in a really, really strong way that I wouldn't want to be doing that. That's fine. But you can relate to the story of vision
For
and how
sure.
vision is important, or how I discovered that truth, right? So a lot of the feedback that I have received from people is that thank you, you made me. I laughed, I cried, and I self-reflected, and that was the second intention. I want people to laugh, I have fun, of course.
Yeah.
I want them to reflect, and I want them to feel the emotion. And I've been successful in that regard, far far more than I ever expected.
Yeah. Well, it's 100% working. And I like the concept of, the different continents and the different truths you had in each one, which I think is easy for people to be able to connect to. So when you say that, is that because that's something you struggled with at some point along the way, not being true to yourself?
Great question. I would say yes. I always thought that I had to follow the mold of everyone else before me, right? So, and
Yeah, very
it
common.
wasn't until a conversation with one of my, believe it or not, a guidance counselor who talked to me about life and not college, said, Mike, you're just different than everyone else. You just do things your own way, and that's fine.